And we're back again, reacting to the Natasha Jonas versus Lauren Price, in which Lauren Price defeats Natasha Jonas on a unanimous decision. I'm just going to go ahead and get into this. I'm also going to talk about the card as a whole. Lauren Price, simply put, was too fast and too young, as I predicted in a day or two before today. You look at the fight and you saw one thing as soon as the bell started. There was a hand speed and a foot speed difference between Natasha Jonas and Lauren Price, being with Lauren Price with the hand speed and foot speed. Natasha Jonas couldn't do anything with Lauren Price all night. She did hit her with a couple of good shots overall, but for the most part, Lauren Price outmaneuvered her, outspeeded her. It was even though the cards didn't say in the 10-round fight it was a 100-90 victory, I think a couple of rounds were given to Natasha Jonas just so it wouldn't look like a complete washout. But this was a virtuoso performance from Lauren Price. Lauren Price hit her with combos left and right, was hitting her. What she was doing was something that she didn't land the punches, but she had Jonas backing up off her. She was doubling and tripling her jab, backing Natasha Jonas up to the ropes. And Natasha Jonas' inability to actually string together combos, because when she would land on Price, it was mainly just like one shot at a time. And then she wouldn't keep that pressure on Lauren. What she would do is land that punch and then kind of back out, hoping eventually that Lauren would slow down with the pace and everything. But Lauren kept it on her the whole night, hitting her with straights, rights, everything. So it was a complete washout. Lauren Price is now your unified. She has 3 of the 4 belts. I don't see, as they said in the post-fight, anybody defeating her anytime soon. Whoever's the winner of Sandy Ryan versus Michaela Mayer, I can't see either one of them defeating Lauren Price at this point, because neither one of them had the hand speed or any of that. And if Michaela Mayer defeated Sandy Ryan, I mean, Natasha Jonas was, it was a split decision victory for Natasha Jonas with Mayer. So, and you saw what Lauren Price did to Natasha Jonas, a complete shutout. So I just don't see it. Overall, Lauren Price, the Queen of Wales, virtuoso performance. Now let's go to the co-feature, which was a little bit more interesting, and that featured Caroline Dubois versus Shin. And this performance by Dubois through 8 rounds was actually really good. But what you could see going through those first 8 rounds, this was a 10-round fight, but what you could see going through those 8 rounds was that Caroline Dubois really outboxing her, really looking well, dodging, slipping, great pivots, catching her after, ducking under really well. That's what I really like seeing from Caroline today. Her defense through 8 rounds, again, 8 rounds, was really good. That duck under when Shin would come over the top, it was really well, not to mention pivoting out and just overall having the better legs and being more athletic. But then we get into the 9th round. I believe Dubois got caught with a straight right, I believe, or a counter right, one of the two. And from that point on, she was kind of on her heels a little bit. And she was getting clipped up towards the end of that 9th round. And then going into the 10th round, something I hadn't seen before from Dubois, her gas tank was almost on E. Now, she did gut it out. Dubois wins this fight. But if you're a competitor looking at a weakness, now you might look at Dubois and say, well, what's going on with that gas tank? What's going on with that gas tank? And the thing is, too, is that Dubois probably could have won this. I think Dubois had a chance to really hurt Shin, but she wasn't going to the body enough. But again, credit to Shin because she was game. She had a chin on her. She got hit with some big shots from Dubois that other girls would go down from. But what you could see is that Shin was actually the bigger of the two, even though they both weigh about the same. But Shin was the bigger girl in there, ate the better shots, and really showed herself tonight. It's just that one has more skill than the other. Shin was coming forward, applying pressure all night. You could see why that gas tank was drained from Dubois at the end. But overall, it was a really good performance from Dubois through 8 rounds. Again, through 8 rounds, Shin really showed herself. She really showed that she's a veteran. She had way more experience than Dubois. But Shin, great chin, showed experience, and even had Caroline Dubois hurt. Honestly, if Shin, instead of kind of smothering her work in the latter 9th and 10th round, for the whole 10th round, because Dubois kind of stand and traded with her with nothing really in her gas tank. If Shin would have been able to like step back, set up her shots a little bit better, she might have been able to put Dubois down through exhaustion and also just catching her with a good shot. But none of that happened. Dubois wins. Good performance through 8 rounds. She's going to have to figure out that gas tank. And even at the end of the fight, when they interviewed Dubois, her head coach, Shane McGuigan, even said that, hey, she's been feeling a little sick, but she gutted through. And then Caroline herself said she's got to work on her inside fighting, which played a part towards the end. But overall, I didn't think her inside fighting was that bad. It was really her gas tank and her just being completely drained, while Shin was still game and giving it to her. Then we go a fight underneath that and transition into Chapman and Artingstal. Now, this was more of one of those things where Chapman was doing well through the first 2 rounds, and then she got caught with a little shot that put I believe it was a straight left that put her down on the canvas. It was kind of one of those flash knockdowns. And then from that point forward, Artingstal completely took over. The straight right and the straight left and jab from Artingstal was giving Chapman problems the whole night. She couldn't get away from it round by round by round. You kept seeing the same thing. Jab, either she was jabbing her up with the right, and then straight down the pipe with the left, whole night. And Chapman didn't really make an adjustment to it because she was fighting from the outside. Now, even though they're both listed at 5'7", Chapman fights smaller than 5'7", and Artingstal is a big featherweight. I mean, there was a size difference in there. I know they're both 126 pounders, but Artingstal looked at like a 130 to 135 pounder, while Chapman did look like an actual featherweight. So that whole 5'7" thing, I don't know. We're gonna have to remeasure both of them. But Artingstal looked at long, she looked at big. She kept Chapman at the end of her jab, and when she was firing off that left straight, she wasn't missing. She was missing, but she wasn't missing too often. And there wasn't enough adjustments from her. And then another thing, well, no, there are not enough adjustments from Chapman. Another thing Chapman could have done to slow down Artingstal, because Artingstal was moving pretty well. And you could tell she was a little rusty through those 2 rounds because Chapman was winning them. She should have went to the body a little bit more and closed the distance, which she didn't do. And I think that also played into a part, along with the whole she couldn't close the distance, and that's why she was getting jabbed up and getting hit with the straight lefts. So as far as Chapman, she's gonna have to figure out how to manage distance a little bit better, as far as either coming in, or if she is gonna be outside, she has to know how to get closer on the inside, because that's what she couldn't do. She couldn't break that distance where she needed to get in on Artingstal, and Artingstal did a really good job keeping her at that distance and moving around, along with catching her with the jabs and the straight lefts. So it was a really good performance from Artingstal. Good performance from Dubois, except for the last round and the last end of the 9th round. She just has to work on her. That's a conditioning thing. You can work on that conditioning thing. We've seen Dubois go rounds. I think it was a combination of she had an actual better live opponent in there against her, on top of what her corner was saying. She's a little sick, and also just an experience thing. So I think it was a great performance. And then you want to talk about Lauren Price, virtuoso performance. Might have retired Jonas. We'll have to see. But overall, it was a great card. Can't say anything bad about it. I'm really happy to see that these women are getting a chance to be the spotlight, and I'll be tuning into all three of the three winners of this, and even Chapman, Shin, and Jonas. If she does come back, I would tune into all three of their fights as well. But for Artingstal, Dubois, and Lauren Price, good performances. Can't wait to see what happens next.